I mean, I'm excited for this episode just to watch more Oshi no Ko, but I also gotta say, I mean, I'm excited to watch more Oshi no Ko also just because I want to watch the OP again. Every week, I've become more and more obsessed with that OP. And it's by Chan Mina, I believe is her name. And I've got the song on my Spotify playlist. I've watched the music video like 5 times because the music video, oh my god, man, that's a hot music video. And so I love this song so much, and the ED is really fucking good as well. And it just like it makes I'm genuinely more excited to watch the episode because I know I'm gonna watch the OP. So anyway, let's jump into the episode. We got some crazy stuff happening in this show as always. What was the last thing that happened? I'm checking my notes. Last thing, oh yeah, we met Kamiki, Hikaru Kamiki. Or at least we didn't meet him, but Akane found out about him. So it might be some real crazy shit happening. I don't know if we're gonna jump right into stuff about that or if that's just like a tease for the future. But let's find out. Make sure to support the video if you can. Liking, commenting, and subscribing. And go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos for both this channel and my Jent Watches One Piece channel. Let's jump into this. This is Oshi no Ko Season 3, Episode 5. We're starting with the OP. Hell yeah. Yep, it's insane. That's so fucked, man. That's true. Oh my god, showing like a fucking machete. And now you have to hide it. Oh, you're not gonna let him get away. Oh my god, she's doing all this investigative work. She's insane, man. I love her. I love that hair. The little pigtails. Aww. Aww. She's so cute. She keeps him in check. Aww. He's so vulnerable right now. Yeah. Oh. That's true, I guess. But he's looking for advice. That's true, and that's very mature, but it's extremely mature. But he might murder someone. Man. Yeah. Yeah, maybe he can't be freed from it unless he chooses to do it himself anyway. That's okay. It happens all the time. Almost every single VTuber out there. Yeah. Ah. Okay. That's where it changes. Right. We're just gonna take on anyone who's cancelled. Yeah, I think that's true, but Ruby is also like that now. Aww. I don't know how. I mean, I do know how, I guess. In universe, Ruby's like so dazzling. And Memcho's a celebrity. Aww. Kana, I'd be your biggest fan. No. Man, I want those two to talk properly. Who'd she get a message from? Mako Azumi. Yeah.
よくないと思うんで。もうよ。
No.
マコさん20歳になってましたっけ？なったこの間。
That didn't sound convincing.
抜きでさ、ほら乾杯。
Did you just pour her alcohol anyway?
飲まないと空気
Oh
読
my
めてない感
gosh.
じか。
No, don't get peer pressured into it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Shima.
こんなモラルが壊れてる先輩の誘いなんて無視して。
Uh,
島正則、今一番勢いのある映画監督。
cool.
気に入られたらなんて甘い期待をしてこんなところにのこのこ
Yeah,
や
I
って
got a
きたのがあったし。
network to
ずるい
climb.
手かもしれないけど、とても素敵な映画で。
そんな堅苦しい感じやめてよ。俺カナさんのファンなんだから。
Yeah, she's being very polite.
すごいのはルビーです。
Aww.
私には
It's so sad seeing how her eyes die like that.
カナさんの実力は業界の人間ならみんな。
Yeah, man.
そうだ。よかったら LINE 交換しませんか。
Okay, you got a connection. Okay, meet again for drinks. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm nervous for Kana, you know? Like, going out with people
姉ちゃんに
to
話を通した方がいい。
bars and stuff.
どうしてインスタのパスワードを教えなきゃいけないの？プライバシーの侵害じゃない。
こっちにも管理する権利があるの。ちゃんと契約書にも書いてある。
そうやってタレントを囲い込むんだ。
そうよ。ちなみに
It's
あな
fucked
たの
up.
名前も私の会社に
私の本名なのに。
That animation style. Oh my god, it's very smooth
そうですよ。
for such a simple
連
art.
絡先は全力で男から引き剥がすし、
ブログの投稿を添削されて、
Oh my
今度
god.
別物にされたり。
恋人ができようものならさりげなく破局するよう仕向けたりする
Jesus
わよ。
Christ.
アイドルって人権ないの？
契約で今までの活動を履歴書に書けない
Mhm.
一部の企業 VTuber も結
Yeah.
構人権ないですけどね。
Oh. Now it's gonna be a one-on-one, at least for a bit. Well, at least this looks like a more respectable
アメリ
place.
カ育ちでね。ほら、役者は上に何を言われても。
Yeah,
黙ってやる
that's
しか
so
ない
fucked.
ブルーカラーなわけ。役者を守ってくれる。
いいの？
That's good.
あまりにも実力が軽視されている。
Hmm.
向こう見て。
島勘さんは役者のことを考えて。
Seems like it. Ori's buttering you
そり
up,
ゃそうさ。
you know.
僕はいい作品を作りたい。そのためにいい役者は必須。
But yeah, directors,
この芸能界を変えたいと思ってる。
especially young directors, tend to be actually more passionate about the art.
モデル上がりの役者が演技もできねえくせに若者ってよ。
ほんとそれ。
She relates to that a lot.
久々に役者の世界にいる感じがする。
Aww.
そう、ここに戻りたいな。
Aww.
僕はね、
それって私を使ってくれるってことですか？
Oh.
俺はまだわからないけど。
That's a little pushy.
性が違ったってなると残念だ。
Aw, that's true.
もっと君のことを知った上で判断したい。
Hmm.
すみません、お時間の方が。
ああ、すみません。
Almost time, like closing time?
子供をこんな遅くに連れ回す。
Oh no. Back to my place?
そしたら、うちの事務所すぐそこだから来る。
Okay, your office.
まだ何人か仕事してるはずだから。
Okay.
みんなで話そうよ。
People are still working? Well, I mean, it's not like a bedroom, right? His staff is still there. Yeah. Oh my god. If he was lying and the staff aren't actually there.
大丈夫ですか？
確かに有馬カナが来たら驚くかもね。
来ないかもしれませんね。
Look at those glasses. Kind of cute.
あれ、みんな。
Oh no, it's empty.
わー、広い。
やっぱりこの
しっかりベッドまであって。
Oh, fuck,
何
man.
飲む？
私とて一発のタレント
Oh,
よ。
Kana.
この楽しく酒のお相手をできたなら。文句
Just
な
don't
し
do anything you'll
もし
regret.
得が下がってきても。すみません、今日あの日なんで。この魔法の。
It's genius. She's got a secret move up her sleeve.
私なんかをそういう目で見たりしないですよね。
いや、めちゃくちゃ見てるよ。
奥さんいるんですよね。今の話聞いたらなんて。
Oh, he's married?
向こうも向こうで毎晩のように遊び倒してるか
What
ら
the fuck?
のことになってるんだ。
クリエイターってなんでこうしない人が多いんだろう。
自分で考えて自分を大切にするべきだ。
This is so like
君に敬意を払って愛情を伝えて
it's so like
決して
in the middle
早くは用意しない。有馬かな。君は大切な
like
女優
it's
だ。
this is where it gets feels
彼らに見
weird.
つめられる時の重圧。
But some of the things he's saying is
入り込ん
okay.
だ時にしか得られない。忘れられるものじゃない。
Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god. No,
場
Kana.
所に帰れる。
No, don't think about that.
もし本当にそうなれるなら。
No. Aqua. Of course, of course.
好きな人
Oh.
がいる。
Oh. Oh, what good voice acting.
泣いちゃうくらい好きな人がいるんだ。どんな人？教えてよ。
Oh. It was so pure. Like it was so like childish, you know, and I like
全
it.
然なんですよ。いっつも。
Oh.
たまに優しくしてきて、私を勘違いさせて。待ってるのに全然忘れられなくて。
This is her being real.
ああ、興味深い。面
He
白い。
actually likes it.
面白くないですよ。
Because she's being herself.
面白いでしょ。そんな女は面白い。
Damn. Did it's the morning?
なんだろう私。
Did you just
やっ
talk?
ぱ仕事は堅実
I think you
な
just
実力で
talked.
取らないとね。ラーメン食べて帰ろっと。
Good job, Kana. Oh, but there's pictures taken of you, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you did anything or not. People can say that you did something. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, at least I get to watch this awesome ED. Oh, man, such a complex situation. It makes me like it's crazy because this episode like really, you know, balances between this guy is like he's not the creepiest of creeps, you know. He's like a real man. Like he's like the way that he's talking and stuff, it's like it's very real, you know. But at the same time, he's still kind of, you know, taking advantage of her, but then at the same time he's like giving her the choice, but also she's still feeling pressured into it. There's still a power dynamic there that she's, you know, doing it in exchange for the job, essentially, you know? And like all of that's happening, it's like it's very real feeling because you can absolutely see how you'd be drawn into that. You know, like just the way that he's talking and everything that he's doing, like it's not just like a classic creep depicted in media or whatever. This is like a man who seems entirely reasonable, and he's not like, and like they make it so that it's not like he's the most evil man ever. Like once she said no, he was like, all right, and then like sat back, you know. But it doesn't make what he's necessarily doing before then right. It's just less wrong, you know. But that's why it's so complicated. Like it's not. I'm sure people could have arguments, like arguments for hours and hours about the, you know, the morality of what happened in these scenes, you know. Because on one hand, it's just two adults, you know, going out for drinks together and like hanging out together, and there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. And even if they got romantically entangled, you know, organically, like it's fine, you know, they're both adults and whatever. But I mean, he does have a wife, so it's not really fine. I mean, the way he said it, like you could have said like, oh well, he's in an open relationship, because that seems kind of like, you know, they both know that the other's doing whatever. But like just the way he phrased it as like a don't ask, don't tell kind of situation made it seem like, no, we're supposed to be monogamous, but we both cheat a little bit. It's like, it's, you know, it's kind of crazy. Anyway, so yeah, like that, the whole situation is so so complex and complicated. Man, Kana's voice actor is so good. Like, she's just, like, Kana has always been my favorite character of the anime and of the manga. And just they found someone with such a unique sounding voice. Like, I feel like her voice doesn't sound like basically any other anime character that I've heard. Like, you know how anime characters tend to sound very similar to one another? Like, it's very funny to me when people talk about like English dubs and they're like, oh, you know, that like it sounds like they're using the same 10 actors for everything or whatever. That's more of a criticism of dubs of the past. It's not as much a thing anymore, but there are still a lot of dub actors who are in a lot of stuff, obviously. But you hear people say stuff like that, and I'm like, have you watched anime in Japanese? Like, it also sounds like when you're watching anime, it also sounds like they're using the same 10 voice actors. And like, even when they're not, like, a lot of voice actors are mimicking, you know, the styles that anime are known for. So, like, you know, how many voice actors do you know out there who do the Ada voice and who do it almost exactly the same way? You know, I think there's probably like 100 voice actors out there that you've probably heard in something or another that have basically the exact same voice for a sort of, you know, seductive older woman character, right? So, like, you know, it's a very common thing. Kana's voice, I feel like, is like basically nothing I've ever heard. Like, Kana has a very unique sounding voice, and I've always loved that for a character that I like a lot, to also be able to sound different and have her own identity. And like, there's times where Kana as a character does a character voice, and that voice sounds more like a generic anime woman, you know? So it, like, what it means is, like, Kana's voice feels like a real person, and then but sometimes she's playing a role. And I think that's awesome. Anyway, her voice actress is so good, and in this episode, her just like breaking down and crying, oh my god. Like, I started crying, and I was entirely crying based on the delivery of those lines. Like, more so than the scenario itself. It's like the voice acting made me cry. It was absolutely incredible. Just because it sound like, I think when people cry, like, a lot of the time, especially when it's about something like that, like, I think we do sound a lot like kids. Like, I've thought of times, like, I don't cry that much in my real life. It's like, it's very rare. Like, I cry while watching media. But like, I don't cry that much just from things that happen in my life. But when I do, the rare times that I do, and I know it's about something like something small or something, you know, just purely to do with my emotions, or purely to do with how I'm feeling frustrated about something, like, I can hear my own voice, and I feel like I'm 10 years old again, you know? And it really comes out like that, where I can't speak properly. I'm just sobbing. I completely, like, I already kind of imagine myself as a kid. I think it's difficult not to. But I do find myself, when I'm in those moments, like, completely, if I looked in the mirror and saw a kid, I wouldn't be surprised for a second. So when I hear actors who are able to bring out that childish quality in someone crying, it hits me so hard, because it reminds me of myself, you know? So I think that's so crazy. Anyway, wild episode. I liked how they touched on the VTuber stuff in this episode, where it's like, oh, her face was revealed a long time, you know, her face was in streams a long time ago, and people found that, and also she's seeing some non-PC stuff in those streams. But it's very funny when he first said, like, oh, her face was shown a long time ago. I was like, yeah, every VTuber has that pretty much. There are some out there who have hidden their face, but like, they really had to have like no internet presence before they started VTubing, which is very rare, because if you started VTubing, it's generally because you you are in the game. Like you've known about streaming or been a fan or done a lot of online stuff before, and then you transitioned into VTubing. So generally your stuff is out there somewhere. And like the most famous VTubers out there, you can find what they look like, but it's generally like really disrespectful to talk about a VTuber's private life and their older things. And like, you know, sometimes there'll be, because I mean it's a very Japanese thing. Like you have a sort of what's the phrase I'm looking for? Anyway, the fans have responsibilities to, you know, to respect certain things about their idols, right? And there's a culture to it that doesn't exist as much with Western celebrities and stuff. And sometimes I'm not a fan of the Japanese culture around things for certain things, because there's like the way, I mean, we're watching Oshi no Ko. Like this show shows how Japan treats their celebrities and stuff, and a lot of the time it's awful, you know. And I feel like sometimes I want us to treat them more like people, you know, real people. But at the same time, one thing that I think, like the VTuber thing of like don't talk about their other stuff, it makes a lot of sense, and I do think that one is good, because like being respectful of that stuff just for their career, you know, some like VTuber agencies or whatever definitely want to keep their talent, like identities hidden and stuff. But on top of that, I think like for their own privacy, it's important as well. I mean, if you're doing VTubing, I think it's kind of understood that like, hey, I'm playing a character and I'm keeping my face out of the public eye, so don't go snooping around in it, which I think is fair. I do think sometimes VTuber agencies take it too far a little bit, where it's like, I think the VTubers themselves should have agency in how much they show about themselves. And I think like VTuber agencies tend to say like, you can't show anything about yourself, to the point where like HoloLive people I know, at the very least, can't, like, they can, when they're doing like hand cams or whatever, where they're like putting together Lego or something, they have to wear gloves so that you can't even see any of their skin, you know. And like that, I think that's too far. I think like if the person wants to, if they're like, I don't want to show my hands on camera, I don't want, you know, whatever, absolutely fine. Like they should have full rights to be able to just use gloves or whatever. But if the VTuber themselves, like, you know, is okay with that, then I think, you know, I think we're getting a little crazy when we're like, don't show the smallest bit of like this part of your wrist, you know, like don't show any of it. I think that's where you're taking it a little crazy, you know. But I'm sure they have, you know, their reasons. I'm all about the person themselves. I don't really think companies should be controlling a person in general. Like what I was talking about before, like the culture, Japanese culture or whatever that I hate, like idols being expected to either not date or hide their romantic life. Like, go fuck yourself with that. That's disgusting that people expect that from idols. Like, I truly think that's like despicable. That's evil to do that to a person, because like romantic, like relationships and love is something really, really important to people. It can be what people live for. It can be the most important thing in people's lives. A lot of the time when people are working, they're working to support their family. They love someone very, very much, right? So, and like you can say like, well, just don't become an idol if you, like, fuck that. Like, truly, go fuck yourself. If someone loves someone, they should be allowed to. I mean, it's the same thing as like, you know, LGBT relations. Like, I'm glad it's getting more and more accepted as time goes on, because they shouldn't have to hide anything, if they don't want to. And So like for you know, for idols, you know, what has to happen is if an idol comes out and goes, I have a boyfriend, and you're like, I had this idea that she was single or whatever, like you need to grow the fuck up. You need to, like, I get the fantasy of like imagining yourself, you know, with a celebrity or whatever. You think I haven't done that? I do it all the time. It's amazing. It's a great fantasy to have. But like, as soon as you start projecting that on another person, you're disgusting. Like you're horrible, you know. As soon as you start like expecting them to change their behavior for your fantasies to stay alive. No, shut up. That's one part of like of the idol culture that I find so horrible. You know, I don't often like speak out against things that, like that aggressively, but that frustrates me so much. It's why I love this show, because they Aka really, I was about to call him Ardo. Aka really goes in on stuff like that. I mean, this episode alone where Ruby was like, you have to take my Instagram password, like that's I should have some privacy, shouldn't I? And it's like, nope, the agency owns your social media. And it's like, well, also, if you ever go to a new agency, like, you won't get your Instagram handle. And also, if you ever go to a new agency, I've trademarked your name, so you have to go under a different name. Even though you were born with the name Ruby Hoshino, you have to go by a different name because I've trademarked your name. And like, all of that stuff is crazy. Like, Miyako saying it is the only thing that lessens the thing, because Miyako clearly loves Ruby very much. So I don't feel as, like, you know, it doesn't anger me as much. If any other character was saying that, I would be strangling them through the screen, because like it's so evil. It's such an evil thing to do to someone. Anyway, that's Oshi no Ko, Season 3, Episode 5. Thanks for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.